round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Yes, he's back.
Oh.
Let's get in focus, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Commissioner Clay is back. You'll find out why. We will all find out why soon enough. I am on cloud nine, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great week, Joe. A lot to be thankful for. How was your Thanksgiving? Let's start that off.
Thanksgiving was great. 2 days after Thanksgiving was incredible.
Yeah.
How was yours?
You beat a bad football team, Joe. Congratulations. It was all right, dude. It was pretty good. Went with the family to get Perkins. Great establishment. Great pies there as well. It's a solid solution. Ladies and gentlemen.
Unofficial sponsor. That was not an official sponsorship. We already have it on.
No, not at all. Just great pies in general. If you wanted a good pie, I don't know where else to send you to get good pies other than Perkins.
That's free advertising. Another free advertisement is our unofficial sponsor, Fireball.
Unofficial official sponsor, Fireball. Thank you very much for getting that in, Joe. Joe, also, too, what can people do if they like the show?
Hit that bell button. And also, Fireball, can you pay us for this, please? Thank you.
How can you get paid? Just free Fireball. Back into the light there. I hate the blurriness, but we couldn't figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. So, we can't figure out a lot of things. But you know what we can figure out, Joe Lozier?
Tell me.
What happened in an exciting Week 12? Ladies and gentlemen, the Love Train's first matchup. We're 2-9 in this going into this matchup in 8th place.
This is what you started with? This is what you start with?
This was a 1 o'clock game, Joe, because we thought it would be like, you know, in college when a team pays another team $1.75 million to come like a loss.
Nevada A&M pays Texas A&M.
Yeah. So exactly, precisely. So they ended their 3-game losing streak, upsetting yours truly, Joe Lozier, and Chase Dees, who was 7-4 in 3rd place going into this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. 1 game separated him and Daniel. If he would have won this, that would have been huge ground to have gained in the grand scheme of things. However, he didn't. He laid a big fat dud. 151-123. Game ball in this one, Joe, goes to C.J. Stroud, who scored 34 points, and Josh Jacobs, who had 29. I think you can split game balls, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Sure.
Right. Speaking of, Joe, let's get into the non-good superlatives about your team. Tuna had 3 players below the 10-shoulder, which was Kyle Pitts. Welcome back to his team. He traded him away from Mark Andrews. His kicker and defense. Joe. Before I tell you how many players you had below 10 points, do you want to explain what went wrong this week?
It was pitiful. It's absolutely pitiful. It was absolutely pitiful. Many things went wrong.
Anybody accountable? Is there anybody in particular that really just sheeshed you?
It was really just a week for most of my squad, you know.
Yeah, not a good outlook because you had 5 players below the dreaded 10-shoulder.
One of which was the coveted running back that I traded my number 1 wide receiver for just a few days before.
Which set off an avalanche of trades after that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There was another 2 trades after the episode had ended. It was incredible flurry of trades going on. And you're right, Joe, we did do that. However, in my defense, he was not the only running back that disappointed you this week because all 3 running backs, you started 3 running backs, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. All 3 scored below the 10-shoulder, sir. Kicker. Oh, and the kicker. To top this off, Joe, the cherry on top.
Dude, on Sunday morning, I got cute with it and said, you know what? Tyler Bass, you're crap. You don't kick. You're not doing good. I don't like you. I like you. I don't like you. I'm gonna mix it up. Go with a little Thanksgiving magic. Riley Patterson playing the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers. You know what he did?
What did he do, Joe?
If we would have had negative points for kickers, he would have gotten negative points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He would have. He would have. In fact, Joe, you didn't do this on a Sunday because this was a Thanksgiving.
It was
day
on Thursday morning. It was on Thursday morning. Thank you.
See some football on Thursday. Watching Thanksgiving, you want to see some points get on the board. It's a trap, man. It's a trap. And honestly, just man, this was the definition of a trap game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving on, Joe. We're gonna get past this. Tuna moves to 3-9 and still in 8th place. Miraculously, Joe, still in the playoff hunt. Joe, you end up losing ground in this one, and you are currently 7-5 in 3rd place. You don't lose your standing per se, but we'll get to why you didn't necessarily climb or actually like stay in the same spot. We'll get to that later. Next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, was another one of our 1 o'clock games. Oh yeah, you're ready for this one, Joe. We had Rub My Chub with Bijan Mustard. Slather it up, baby. 4-7, 6th place. Gets the season sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Gets it. 2 out of the 5 wins I have had have come against Jonathan, who has been consistently the #1 team in the league. That tells you about my pedigree. That tells you about my strength. Let me finish this so I can get into my promo here. Gets the season sweep against the 8-3 at the time Boner Pills, upsetting him, ladies and gentlemen, 156 to 138.
Dang. Spoiler alert. Also, you said you lost your script from last week. I do remember that you, me, and John both had me, so we were 0-3 collectively there. And you, me, and John both had John.
All 3 of us. No, actually, I did write that one. Oh wait,
so
no.
we're collectively 0-6.
Yeah, no, all together. We were all wrong this week. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you last week, the ACC is the dominant league. So we thought. But as league once said in NCAA football 2000 through 2013, not so fast, my friend, because we have game balls, Joe, going to finally Bijan Robinson, 28 points. Baltimore defense, 27 points. Arthur Smith, I'm so happy he is not looking in the mirror, waking up and looking in the mirror anymore and going, remember, you lost because you gave Bijan 15 touches. I'm so happy he's not doing that anymore and realizes Bijan's a workhorse and a true lead running back and giving him the ball. I, Joe, however, did have some negatives in this. Do you want to hear them?
Sure.
I had 2 players below the potential, which was my tight end, Taysom Hill, and my kicker. But they both got me 7 each, so that's technically not too shabby. John, you also had 2 players below the potential, which was your kicker and the Detroit defense. By the way, the Detroit defense only got him 2.5, so it was a very good Thanksgiving. Oh, man, in the 1 o'clock game, seeing a defense give up 2.5 and your kicker giving up 0.0, I have to say, it was kind of humorous.
To you.
You remember when I started the Steelers defense and got negative 0.5 points and lost then by negative 0.1?
Yes.
Yeah. So we made stupid decisions, Joe. Don't worry about it.
Who are you playing that week?
You. Don't worry about it. 6-5 going in this matchup, 4th place. They got their revenge against their brother in the Blood Brother Bowl, stealing up your cousins, who is 4-7 going into this 7th place. They won 177.5 to 161.5. Incredible matchup there. High scoring. Andrew made a little bit of a comeback late for the highest scoring game of the week as well. Game ball in this one. Honest to God, Daniel, your team was solid all around, but I think it's got to go to the Miami defense, who gave you the best Black Friday sale you could ever ask for. You didn't have to pummel over 30-year-old soccer moms to get it. They gave you a 99-yard pick 6 and 7 sacks. Absolutely.
Them Jets are bad.
They're real bad, Joe. Dan only had 1 player below the potential, which was Puka, not Koopa, Nakua Cup, 4.7. Players below the potential as well. Should have been a winning formula. They were at 7.4 and 9 too, Joe. So not on the lower spectrum of that, like 0.0, but on the higher end. Fantasy Messiah moves to 7-5, currently in 4th place. The records are the same. Joe, you do have the point differential.
Yeah.
However, This is coming balls deep, ladies and gentlemen. This race. I'm not doing the playoff predictions. Spoiler alert. I'm not doing the playoff predictions till realistically, potentially next week, if not the week before the playoffs, because it is too tight to really give you anything.
We like tight.
Gross. Joe, in this one, I had Daniel. I don't know who you and John had.
You had Dan?
Yeah. No. I think I had Andrew. I know. Screw it. I'm not going to write it down. Let's go into the next one. Watch back last week's episode to find out who we picked, and we'll do better. Next,
I think we're all collectively now 3-6.
Okay, fair. We'll take that. So, Joe, that leads us into everybody's favorite.
Fantasy football. America's.
Fantasy football.
Game of.
This week.
Of this.
Year.
Of our.
Century Game! Unofficial sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. This is the game that gets you hyped, that gets you wet, that gets you smoldering in anything that you wear, including your long johns. Here we are with Brees lining 8-3, second place.
It's like 60 degrees. You're wearing long johns, 60 degrees. To all you suckers up north who are begging for 60 degrees, we had girls in their knee-high boots and their parkas because it was 60 degrees today.
Look at me now. That shows you all. And we live in Florida, and it is 68 degrees. Brees lighting 8-3, second place, taking care of business, beating the Dirty Randys, who were 5-6 in fifth place, lead of the SEC, ladies and gentlemen. With this loss, Mason knew he would lose the SEC because he does not have enough points like I do, because I'm a winner. I'm a driver. He lost in this one, 159-118. Lopsided. Game ball in this one, Joe, get this. 44 points. From who? Josh Allen against the Eagles. Insane. Mahendra had a baby, and now God is out there saying, okay, let him get another championship.
Good for him.
Well, there's people like me struggling week in, week out, Joe. Scouring the waivers, scouring the trade markets before the deadline. I was like one of those New Yorkers in Wall Street, just going through the trade possibilities, the calculators. I have made, let's see, 1, 2 to trade, 5 trades total. And in an 8-team league, there's only 2 teams I haven't traded with.
The next highest total, the next team that's traded the second most times is 2 trades. There's 2 of us who have traded twice. 3 of us who have traded once.
4.
And 2 teams that have not made a trade.
No. Only 1 team that hasn't made a trade.
But continue, and let me just run this. Let me run this back real quick.
I got George Kittle from Mahendra. Remember?
Nobody has not made a trade. It's 2 from Mahendra, 2 from me, 5 from you. And then 1 from Boner Pills, Fantasy Messiah, Dirty Randy, stealing up your cousins and Love Train.
What a fucking season, dude. That was insane.
You are a trade slut, is what you are.
No.
You're a trade slut.
I was a floundering franchise who got my act together and went out there and said, this is what we need. This is our postseason push. And is it wrong? Is it not working?
So far, you won this week.
You're right. Mason, you had 6 players below the 10 shoulder, which included a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, kicker, and defense. We start 9 people in the league. That's rough. When you start 9 people in the league and 6 of them score below 10, that's a rough Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. We're doing this live in studio, ladies and gentlemen. We just got another batch of Fireball and beer. We can go all night, but we're not going to keep you here long. We got to get through this. Brees, Mahendra, you had 2 players below the 10 shoulder, which was Brees, your namesake, and Dalton Kincaid. Brees, you moved to 9-3, first place with the win. Dirty Randy's loses the SEC lead and drops to 5-7, sixth place. So, Joe, you know what that means. If the playoffs ended today,
which they don't worry.
Oh, that brings me so much jolly and joy. I'm pretty sure we had Mahendra in it because I didn't pick any SEC. I don't think I would have picked any SEC teams.
No, you literally did not pick a single SEC team. No.
Yeah. We'll say we got that one right, Joe. We'll count ourselves down. Now, Joe, is the segment I've been waiting for all day. This got me so hyped this morning. You can ask Mason because he was the one that took me to work today. We cardboard because we are we're down with the environment. What? No. Hey. So, okay. To start things off, Brees Lightning, who had the higher waiver priority, dropped New England's defense and added Will Lutz. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for this, Joe. Well, actually, and this isn't the big spoiler, but it's pretty big too. With the 8th priority, I dropped Jake Ferguson, and picked up Pat Freiermuth. 1, because I can say that name again. 2, because did you not see what Kenny Pickett did? He just threw to him every single chance the man had. Because Kenny Baby Hands Pickett, that's all he has. And then, Joe, it gets better. So not only did I wake up to maybe a fantasy season-saving tight end, I also woke up to find that without a priority, I was able to add Zach Moss. How did this happen? Let's go!
I got to be honest. Yesterday, when I was doing research, I didn't see anything about Jonathan Taylor needing thumb surgery. I didn't see it. I saw that he hurt his thumb. I saw that he hurt his thumb and he would be questionable. I saw nothing about needing thumb surgery.
Oh, I saw a report that said he's going to miss a week or two, at least. And I said, I want that. Ooh, and I got that. Ladies and gentlemen.
He did really good for me. I hope he does really good for you.
And you try to train him so many times, dude. Oh my God, imagine. Like, oh my God, this is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. So Zach Moss is on my team. I didn't have to drop anybody because I had an open roster spot from the trades I made. And I added the Pittsburgh defense as well. Number 4 ranked defense going against the Cardinals. My logic behind it, Joe, was the Los Angeles Rams had about 17 points last week against the Cardinals, their defense. And the Pittsburgh defense is way better than the Rams defense, right? It's another really big one. That may change, ladies and gentlemen. That may change.
I'm gonna give a shout out to our unofficial sponsors again.
I'm gonna join you.
Hit that bell button, y'all.
Again, the waiver wire king, the trade king, slut, whatever you want to call me. And then I'm also on the waivers every single week, Joe. Every single week. I am the Howie Roseman, the Jason Light, the lighthouse of our fantasy football league.
Cheers to that.
Continuing on, Dirty Randy's dropped the free agent Darrell Henderson and the Kansas City defense. He added David Njoku, who he didn't know how to pronounce his name until I said it to him 20 minutes ago. True story. And the Indian defense, if I didn't say that. And then, Joe, we get to you. You went ahead and justifiably you dropped Mr. 0.0 Riley Patterson and Damian Pierce. You added Matt Gay and Zay Flowers. I'll give you your flowers for flowers because before I read that article that told me that Taylor was going to miss a few weeks, I had Zay Flowers as my open roster ad. So I like the Zay Flowers move, bro. I really do. I think that's solid. You remember those commercials where the old guy had the money on the hook for Geico? He's like, oh, you got to be quicker than that. That was Zach Moss with you, bud. That's terrific. Joe. We are coming to that part of the show that's the final third, the finale, as they call it in the business, the conclusion in Hollywood, the climax in the industry, porn or otherwise. This is the 3 Ps, ladies and gentlemen. It is brought to you once again by our official
3 Ps. Oh, you're gone. That's it. He's out. I guess I'll just it's the 3 Ps. It's the Princess Pimple Poppers, brought to you by our unofficial sponsor, Fireball.
Outside investors calling in. I do apologize about that. So I do apologize. Normally I should be on airplane mode, so that's on me. And I'm going to give them hell, okay? Because, Joe, listen, we just lost some outside investors, but we don't need them. The sanctity of our show and the people watching are what matters most to us, Joe. Am I right? What can they do if they appreciate that sentiment?
All three of you, like and subscribe right now.
We average out 10, so we're good. First matchup, we have the underdog of the century, the kid.
That's more than we have people in our league, so I think we're doing all right.
That's what
Let's go. Shout out to you other two.
There's good numbers. Love Trains, the Heartbreak Kids, 3-9 going in this matchup. 8th place. Hopes to continue the win train. You like what I did there, Joe?
No, because he won against me last week. No, I don't like it.
That you're part of that win train. He's going against the Boner Pills, who are currently in 2nd place at 8-4 record. Boner Pills won the last matchup 146-98. That's not pretty good. Bye/injuries going into this one, Joe. For Tuna, get ready. Get fucking ready for Tunas. Josh Jacobs, Jacoby Myers, Gabe Davis, Justin Jefferson, and Mark Andrews on IR. Ladies and gentlemen, his bench, there's 7 bench slots. He has 2 available bench players to play if he wanted to. That's his only options.
A defense and a quarterback.
Exactly. That is
couldn't play me this week, Tuna. Couldn't play me this week. And I even texted you before the games and said, hey, Tuna, by the way, you know your tight end's on the injured reserve, right?
Oh, that's very laundry. But that's good for you, Joe. That's good spotlight.
And then he beat me by 40, like a tight end even mattered. He could have left Darren.
I faced you the last week that happened. I would have beat your ass.
Tuna could have left Darren Waller. Tuna could have left Darren Waller on the IR, and he still would have beat me. Why did I even text him?
Andrews.
Same thing.
You're terrible. Look, Boner Pills, and I don't mean that. I say that with love. Get me in focus, Skype. Thank you. So Lamar is on bye. TJ the Incredible Hawk is on bye. Stop it. The Bills defense, and also, Joe, for injury update, Jonathan Taylor, RIP. Funny enough, Joe actually has the 3rd highest, not Joe, John, the other 3-letter J word. Not as important to me.
Continue.
You like that? Thank you, sir. I did that for you. John's more sexual to me. He does it more for me than you do. But
that's completely understandable.
We got John Taylor, RIP. Like, why didn't you go for Zach Moss, bro? You have a top 4 waiver priority. Why was Zach Moss not a waiver priority for anybody, including me?
Hey, you had him as your 2nd priority.
Yeah, it was, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Joe, in my estimation, I think I'm gonna have to go with John. When I see a list of 5 players on bye, especially 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm going with John.
Okay.
Next matchup.
We're at Brees Lightning, 9-3, 1st place, looking to become the first team to get 10 wins, going against Thielen up your cousins, who put up a valiant effort last week. They are 4-8 and 7th place going in this matchup, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive. They really are. If they lose this matchup, I think they're mathematically eliminated unless they put up a certain amount of points. Anyways, Brees Lightning won the last matchup 137-122. Buys and injuries going into this game. Brees Lightning has Josh Allen on a bye, Christian Kirk, Dalton Kincaid, Jordan Addison, and Justin Tucker on a bye.
More importantly than yes. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you to get to Andrew, and then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Andrew currently has the Vikings defense, Gus Edwards, and Alexander Madison on a bye. What is your question?
We're in an 8-team league. Why does he have Dalvin Cook on his roster?
You never know, dude. Oh, by the way, everybody laughed when Stephon Diggs for Mike Evans and Jalen Waddle went through. Everybody said, whoa, what's up with this? And we actually had to give him a day. No. This week, I look at the rankings and guess Mike Evans is 6 and Jalen Waddle's 9.
No. I know. I that was a lot more fair than. Well, Kieran Williams went off this past week, bro.
For Waddle and Mike Evans, Kieran Williams is a different trade. I got Eckler for Williams, so technically Williams got me Amon St. Brown. Would you rather have Williams or Eckler on your team at this point in time?
You went Williams and Mixon for Eckler.
Imagine if I would have Williams and Waddle for St. Brown.
I personally don't think so, because Williams, in my mind, I thought Williams was a creature of a short-term blow-up, short-term boom. Clearly not after last week.
Sean McVay fired a man immediately once Kieran Williams came back from IR. That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. Yes.
That tells you all you know, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was wild.
I was the only one in the league that knew it. And I'm sorry I'm getting so off track here, ladies and gentlemen. But hindsight being 2020, I am so justified throwing Kieran Williams out there. I could have got trash for him. Trash. Because nobody wanted him. And I saw his brilliance. Mason saw
him. So why didn't you keep him?
Because I needed a receiver.
I saw it.
You saw it. I know you did.
I saw it. It came from outside.
He knew that Joe Mixon was the price of that trade that we talked about that one week, but it was Kieran Williams. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Rant over. So, Joe, who do you got in this matchup? Just to remind you, it was Mahendra going against Andrew.
Mahendra.
Well, bet your ass, Joe. I also have Mahendra. A 4 o'clock game, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the rants are over, but I have so much more of them because so 4 o'clock game. We have Chase D's, Joe. This was a tough week for deciding who. Don't you worry. You almost had it.
It's a tough week.
Chase D's 75
Ty goes to the runner.
You're hoping to avenge the booty hole tights of a game earlier in the season against the Dirty Randys. Mm-hmm. Woo! The second closest game of the year. The first closest game you won. I'm still upset about it.
Kieran Williams is going against the Browns defense.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's their quarterback, and he's got their tight end. So good call. Mason's got in the bank, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mason's 5-7, 6th place, who is fighting to get back to the top of the SEC in this matchup, because that's the only route for the playoffs for me or Mason.
Did you say Mason has it in the bag?
Maybe. You'll find out. Joe, the aforementioned win I was speaking of was when Mason won back in week 6, 116.6 to 116.09. He gives a whoop whoop. Shout out to the Juggalo Nation out there. Buys/injuries going into this matchup. Joe, you have DJ Moore on bye, Saquon, James Cook. I almost said Jameel Cook. Remember the tight end? And Zay Flowers on buys.
Yeah.
Mason, you have the Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs, Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert, Kenneth. Oh, those are all buys. And then Kenneth Walker, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not starting Dobbs.
Like Kenneth Walker, the third, is likely not able to play.
Yeah, he's on my bench.
And that's per a report Wednesday at 2:12 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, he's on my bench.
Yep. Chris Olave, another one of your big promoters, who you left on the bench last week with 18 points. That was not mentioned. Hey, studio audience, please settle down back there. He is in concussion protocol. He may miss the game this week. Also,
looking at me if you don't want my opinion,
also
bitch.
Amari Cooper, questionable with a rib injury. Anyways, the other quarterbacks that Amari Cooper's going to have throwing to him is P.J. Walker and Joe Flacco. Joe, the immortal Joe Flacco.
If Joe Flacco would have done more for his legacy if he would have retired 7 years ago.
Instead, he's finishing with the Browns, which is the ultimate worst thing you can do for any sports career ever.
And he might not even start over Pajamas Walker with a 2-16 touchdown to interception ratio.
XFL Pajamas Walker. I like that, dude. Pajamas. That's the first time I heard that. Joe, I have you in this matchup. Spoiler alert, I have you. Shocker, I have you.
Can I ask for a celeb shot? Hey, Mason, can you pronounce your tight end's last name for me, please?
Yeah, Joe wants you to pronounce your tight end you just picked up's name. I told you 20 minutes ago.
Oh, bro.
You gotta hurry up, dude. We're on a time limit here. The millennials audience.
It might be
down.
just like, I'm just going to give it like a cough.
Say it. Here, I'm gonna write it down for you. This is how it's spelled. That's a J.
That's a J.
Yeah. Njoku.
Goku.
Go.
Kamehameha!
Absolutely.
I got me all day. You know what, though? Mason is like my father, okay? Can't pronounce his team, doesn't know what team they play on, and yet he still beats me. It's ridiculous. He doesn't even know. Mason and my father don't even know about half of their players on their roster. It doesn't matter because they score points for them. It's ridiculous.
You know that last week, all three of your running backs scored 10 points less than what Kieran Williams did. Actually, over 10 points.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's what I needed. That's what my dad's over here. He can't pronounce McCaffrey, but he's blowing up for 30 points every week for him. What's going on?
Too good. So, Joe, that's going to lead us to our official, unofficial game of the week, which everybody knows it as
Just going to use it.
America's
fantasy
football game
of
the week,
this
year,
of our
century
game. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Mason, you're as bad as your football team. Give me a paper towel. So
Mason's football team has the same record as yours.
Yeah, but who's on top?
I was spilling fireball, though. So that
Clay
was
top, Mason bottom.
Clay top, Mason bottom. Always. High five, bro. Clay top, Mason bottom. There we go.
Boom.
That's how it will be. That's how it always
I
is.
don't know what I disagreed
And
with. Okay.
America's fantasy football game of this week, of the year, our century game.
This is a big game. I would have picked this one too.
Thank you, sir. It was tough, though. I liked your matchup. But however, we have the 5th place matchup. Run my chub with Bijan Monster. Get this monster out of here. Get this monster out of here.
What?
And his stupid sweater.
Once it's 15 seconds of fame, bro.
Mason, please.
What is that little thing?
Yeah, that's called a gremlin. Anyway, my matchup. I am Run My Chub with Bijan Monster, 5-7, 5th place, number 1 in the SEC, hoping to maintain that spot again
started today.
for the W's. He's hungry for the W's just like Clay. We eat the W's, boys. We eat them. Okay? Like Popeye's chicken wings. Check them out. They got 6 flavors. They're delicious. Non-official sponsor. Fantasy Messiah, 7-5 in 4th place. If the playoffs ended today, Joe,
Which they don't.
I would be in it. Dan wouldn't. And I have 2 less wins than Daniel.
Did they say which they do?
Which they don't. Right?
They do not.
Thank you, sir. Daniel won the last.
But his matchups. Dude, go ahead. Tell the buys.
Daniel won the last matchup 120 to 102. Granted, I was on a cruise that week, Daniel, so that's with a grain of salt. There's an asterisk next to that game, just like your championship, son. Buys/injuries. Clay, I have Stephon Diggs. Oh, yeah, by the way, Commish picked up Stephon Diggs after the show, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredible. Yeah, so good for me, right? Stephon Diggs is on bye. Justin Fields is on bye. And the Ravens defense is on bye. Daniel, you have Deontay Foreman, Mr. Angry Runs himself, Deontay Foreman on bye. Joe, give me your pick in this.
And Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
on
and
bye.
Sorry.
No, I just figured I'd throw it in there. So here's the deal. I genuinely think I like his matchups better. And the ACC does win. But my heart and my soul wants you to win. It wants you to pull this one off. It really does. With everything inside of me. It really wants you. Just write your name down. I'm going with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's yes, sir. Joe, that's the only decision you can make here, okay? Because on my humblest opinion, I sat down and I looked at this. And I thought on paper and I said, my God, what an evenly matchup we have here. But I looked at one thing. I looked at the determination I've had the past week. My fire is not extinguished. If anything, right now, I am at the height of my 2023 fantasy football powers. Making trades, wheeling and dealing, kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet plane flying, waiver wire stealing. And boy, is it yet to come, Joe Loser. If you can't tell, I'm going with me. All day, every day. It's what it is. The Commish top in America's fantasy football. This game this week, century game. And it's never going to stop. We're taking it to the top, baby. Repeat champions. Woo! Woo! Oh, man, Joe. Woo!
I'll take another shot of our unofficial sponsor, Fireball, to that, and the outro. I know you guys like that rant, spiel, promo. I know you liked our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. And if you did, like and subscribe, hit that bell button.
Thank you, Fireball. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe, for being here. Thank you for what they can do. I hope to see you next week, and maybe it'll be better. Ladies and gentlemen, I am running our Cloud 9. We will see you next week. We may provide you a playoff picture, everything else. We're going to let this beat drop a little bit longer so we can get out here on a good note because it's not too bad. Producer Joe, kill that shit. Good night and good luck, Cucks.